Pleased to be joined by new Wildcat coach Rich Rodriguez, hired just this past week. He's here watching the game today, of course, and looking forward to getting started his duties within hours. Rich, first of all, for those who have just been listening in for the first time today, congratulations on your hire. It's great to have you here. What's this past week been like for you and your family?
It's been really exciting, Brian. Thanks for asking. It's obviously a great opportunity for me. I'm tremendously excited not only to be able to run the football program, but to move to Tucson. You know, obviously it's a wonderful college community. The people have been overly nice. It's been unbelievable. And I know I haven't lost the game yet and all that, but I am so excited to be here. I know my family's excited to move down here, and we'll be hitting it pretty hard. I've already started recruiting and hopefully get a staff together in a couple weeks.
All right, very good. For those who don't know, a long career in the coaching industry. I think first came to note at Tulane as offensive coordinator. Second year there, Green White go 12-0. Then went on to Clemson. Second year there, averaged 35 points a game as offensive coordinator, went 9-3, and then head coach at West Virginia. Averaged 43 points a game in your final season there. And I point that out because your reputation is as an offensive mind, a guy that puts a unique offense on the field. So I know the fans would like to know, okay, what is it? What is Rich Rodriguez offense?
It's a little different. I think back 20 years ago when we first started running this no-huddle spread, it was kind of unique. Now there's a lot more teams doing it, and we've tried to tweak it over the years. But we do like to play fast. We don't like to huddle. But I like to think it's more than just an offense. You know, the last couple of years we were at West Virginia, we had some really good defenses. We had a good program, and that's where I go. Is I want to build the best program in America, and I'm fortunate. I'm lucky. I get to come here where there's already a pretty good foundation put in place. We got a brand new facility coming in for the 2013 season, so I'm fortunate to be here at the right time, I believe.
Coach, when we think about your offenses, I remember some of the offenses you ran at West Virginia with Pat White, Steve Slayton. Have you had an opportunity to look at the personnel here at all to give you some ideas about how you want to run things here?
A little bit, Lamont, but probably I won't know for sure until spring practice. I wish Nick had a few more years of that. Everybody would like to have Nick Foles. Trust me, he's one of the best in the country. But I think there's some skill guys. I think there's some young quarterbacks on the roster, or some quarterbacks on the roster. I think can do what we want. But I really haven't looked that far into it. Now, I'll probably watch some film, but not until after, the next couple weeks, probably over the Christmas holiday. I'll watch us on film from the past year. I'll watch this game and evaluate a little bit. But I just want to get a handle on what we need to do recruiting-wise first and foremost, hire a staff, and then spring practice will be as much evaluating as it is teaching.
Number of players have committed to Arizona. I know you've had a chance to reach out, and I won't ask you to go into conversations with all of them, but have you had a positive feedback from the guys you talked to?
Yeah, I really have. And the staff before, Coach Stufstaff did a tremendous job of getting them committed not only to themselves, but I think more importantly to the university. And so all the conversations, I hold a lot of them in the last couple of days and saw one of them today, and they feel real good about it. And, of course, they need to get to know me. They need to get to know the staff. They need to get to know what my plans are, and I'll take care of that in the next couple of weeks. And we're a little bit behind, obviously, in recruiting when you only have 2 months to do it, but not as far behind as maybe getting hired in January. So from that standpoint, we'll put together a really good class, and I think our recruiting will continue to get better each and every year.
We had some fans submit questions on the Arizona Wildcats Facebook page, and so a couple of those for you, Coach. Tess Lugo asked, what is your short-term goal for the team, and where do you hope to see the program after your first season?
Well, the short-term goal, first and foremost, is making sure the guys do what they need to do academically. After this ball game, their focus needs to be on finishing the academics or the semester strong academically. Then in the second semester, getting a strength conditioning program, getting bigger, faster, stronger, and then when spring practice starts, learn a new system. But more than anything, I think we've got to get to know each other. I think there's a good base here. I know we're losing some outstanding seniors in this year's class, but there's going to be a process, and change is tough. I've been through it before. It's tough, particularly on the athletes themselves. But as I told the team the other day when I met them very briefly, is that they need to embrace the change. If the sooner they embrace it, the better off we'll be.
All right, second question came from William Wheeler. He says he's noticed quite a few State of Arizona players on other Pac-10 rosters. What are your plans for getting some of the in-state talent?
Well, first and foremost, we've got to blanket the state of Arizona. We're still going to recruit California and Texas and maybe going to Louisiana and Florida and really anywhere in the country people want to come here. But we have to blanket the state of Arizona. We'll hit every corner of it. And there's a player that we think is the right fit for not only for us and our program, but also for the university. We're going to go after him.
All right. Our third question came from Ty DeLoe. What kind of defense do you plan to use? The 3-3-5 was employed at West Virginia. Will you use something similar to that?
It'd probably be more of a 3-4 look. The 3-3-5 that we ran at West Virginia, particularly in 2006 and 7, that was pretty successful, really kind of morphed into more of a 3-4. Really what I want to do is look at what we have personnel-wise. And in order to wait until I hire my defensive coordinator, I think the defensive staff will look at what we have, look what we can do that's pretty unique, and what we need to do to have success in our league. And all those things combined, everybody nowadays runs a combination of four-man fronts, three-man fronts, and exotic third-down defenses, but we'll probably base with an odd front to start with.
Okay, and our final question came from Frank Castro. He'd like to know, what is the most important element in turning a program around and turning it into a yearly BCS contender?
Well, a lot of people will say it's talent and players and all that, but I think that's part of it, but I think it's attitude. First and foremost, we've got to have the championship type of attitude. They've got to be able to work like champions work, and I think they have a good work ethic already. Again, I'll know in spring practice exactly how far we need to go in that area.
Coach, how important is the strength and conditioning aspect of it to you for your football team?
Oh, it's huge, and I think it's important for the strength and conditioning staff, which they will have, has the same attitude as the coaches do as far as trying to get the most they can out of each and every player, and the players have to buy into that. And I think they'll see that. Their strength coaches touch them more than I do. They've got it for a few months in the summer, they've got it for a few months in the spring, and they've got to develop that attitude I just talked about, starting with the strength staff, and I think they will.
All right. Well, you look at Lamont. He looks like he's still in playing shape.
He's in great shape.
So, yeah, he's a good testament. Coach, just finally, a message maybe for the U of A fans that you'd like to partake in.
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity. I'm totally embraced. I'm all in for Arizona. You'll get my very best effort. You'll get our staff's very best effort, and we hope you'll be proud of us, and I think you will.
Rich, congratulations. Great to have on board.
Thanks, Brian.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Rich Rodriguez, new coach of the Wildcats. We'll have more coming up from the stadium in a moment on the Arizona IMG Sports Network. IMG Sports Network. IMG